So they are just gunning it, right? They are running their little legs off straight towards C. They're going to leave one behind. YU.
Actually, the tap of the spikes. Drawn out the ultimate from Divide.
I mean...
Nightfall here from the plant as well.
Oh, the pathing. This is now getting really dangerous, but YU set up for motion. No. Divide, very diligent and nice from PaperX.
Nice.
They put it together there. You're starting to see a little bit of that synergy shining.
And the composure as well. Don't overinvest in this early round aggression. Able to peel away really quickly, and credit to Forsaken. I think potentially something up towards Evan. There was a couple of people charging out, like you said, instantly pinged. Again, you can't really fault the approach here, but bold to stick a TP into the back lines.
And it got close, but I like seeing those fundamentals come together for PaperX though, right? Doubling up, even in that chaos of potential plant on towards that B side. No, they pop the ult, they still stay very close. And credit to Divide. I know it's only one kill, but him catching YU basically keeps them safe. Otherwise, it's this kill right here from Divide. I find that to be the most imperative of them all. Very heads-up work. Maybe feeling they'd have tried to have left a player behind, inserted a player. Still not fussed though, apparently. Still chilling.
I mean, you got to be happy leaving 4-2 here.
Yeah.
On the attacking side as well. Back to the drawing board though here with, well, as close to a full purchase here as Lysol down on the Guardian. The Wolves, Forsaken actually tagged up there. I'm not sure if he's actually confirmed any damage on the side of Wolves. Activity once more as well, and active clearance out past Mound.
This could be nasty. Actually sees, and the pain shell is perfect! G gets out
It's a 2 for 2.
How the hell did they get 2 back?
Could say almost favouring PaperX in that regard, but something going to be played in here.
Angles like that, this man hits those shots. Mechanically sharp as ever. Starting to read what they wanted. Similar scenes to before though. CFAT PB and YU. Trying to work the map here. 2v3. Okay, testing.
Oh,
okay,
timing.
I mean, they're playing such high risk, Mike. It scares the life out of me sometimes. 20 seconds and a 1v2 Divide and Forsaken. Where are we off to now? 14 seconds. His options are so limited.
10 seconds left.
They're both here. Surely not. Yeah, he's got to go for it. No chance. Well handled by PaperX, closing in on the scoreline.
So you've got to look for that composure again, building up a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances. That's where you look towards some of these more sloppy kills.
Sebenarnya orang biasa nonton watch party karena kayaknya yang host watch party-nya udah terkenal aja, jadi mungkin ada insight gitu-gitu biasanya. Kalau gue iseng aja. Kayak misalnya kalau yang apa, yang sekarang tuh watch party Valorant misalnya ada kayak ada caster kan, nah dia lagi nggak nge-cast nih, tapi dia bikin watch party, jadi ya ada ininya lah, ada apa namanya, insight misalnya harusnya nggak boleh kayak gini, biasa sih kayak gitu ya. Atau misalnya ya para fans biasa udah gede sih watch party.
Give them the stability here, but I do want to see what the reaction is from Wolves. Again, it does feel like that almost no-go zone once you've got that Odin spam coming down. It's not as lethal as it could be. I mean, if you throw in a Viper with it,
kalau nggak mah biasa ya mereka pasti nonton di ini, di apa namanya, ya langsung di sana lah.
But it's the re-aggresses from PaperX. Very little fear, even in those high-risk scenarios. We're a bit more used to it, I guess, at this point, and so will they be now. At 3-4, just Sheriffs. And a couple of classics.
I mean,
plenty of ults.
Bentar, gue mute dulu.
I mean, if you come out with a lead, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to feel really good about yourself. So we'll have to ride this out on a handful of Sheriffs. Something going to tuck himself in between these smokes.
Oh, it's nasty. And Devi drawing all eyes on him. It is only pistols, but it's... Ah! Devi's like, no, sorry, something. You don't even get to play. Easily
Apa?
done. Happy with that.
Besok,
Confidence
aduh gue bangun
builds
pagi
there.
sih besok sih.
A little bit of a reset here in between ahead of this
Ya,
round,
paling satu game doang sih, Vin. Nonton dulu gua kayaknya.
has his ultimate.
Oke.
Just one away.
Yang lain kagak sih. Karen lagi molek, si Rizka nggak ada kabar sih. Nanti masuk Discord aja nanti kalau mau ini.
Round 4 Devi, who's actually leading.
Yeah.
Yo.
10-4 and early 3K, I believe, in one of the rounds.
Ooh, look at this stack. They're in the right place here, Mike. How far do PaperX go in this? Deep flash it up. Look at this outrageous approach. Oh, it's been
Wait, what?
absolutely red. Jing gets backhanded there, and they couldn't
Okay,
close
udah
down on any
4-4
of the
nih.
kills.
I mean, 2 pings on the reveal. Not sure how much that box just sponged, but no damage.
Face your fear!
Coming through, it's only really Fat BB who's taken a hit here down to 35 HP. Nightfall might actually be a bit of a red herring.
How much can Patman be expected to do here? That's a huge ult as well, right?
Has to basically hit the
And
panic
Forsaken,
button.
wait, Forsaken! Oh, they read it so smart. As soon as that Nightfall caught how many? 4 players? Instantly went for it. Now, not to beat, Wolves 2 heads up for that. And the dust hasn't even settled, really. But the rotations are here. Devi's back over. And he was solid before this nice high-low setup. Be very difficult to break.
Aduh, susah sih.
Or not there, Paranoia ready, there it is, forces them off. Spring, they seem so prepared for these holds. They've seen Batman as well. Position now given, and look at
Terlalu banyak
why.
yang
There's so
ngepick.
much space to play
God,
into.
his lurk is so nasty. And at this point, they want to pivot, they want to go back towards B. It does put in towards something's hand. Spring! It's
Wow,
gorgeous
bagus
from
banget.
Spring! Lurks on lurks, but something still stands. Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Where do they go?
Hey,
Back
Ska.
towards C. Safety on that
10
C
seconds
site. You don't
Nice.
fancy walking into something like this. So the plant's in, and he's left in a 1v4.
Make an honest go of this here. You can see
nggak
on the X-ray
butuh, karena masih ada
why
duit.
you already wrapping him. He's got a turret here to play contact off as well. Might even just be able to pop something in the back of the head. No. We'll get the sound cue regardless. I think now relaying that information. Yeah, that comes through.
God, his positioning.
Yeah, this is just,
Berarti
again, probably sitting back and watching this, Alex, not going to be happy about this spray into the smoke with the audience. It's
hidup diri doang,
begging
Sok.
somebody to
Someone.
walk on it.
Yep.
And Spring just comes alive.
And it feels like this was a whole book in one round, right? Chapter by
Got
chapter.
out.
At this beginning, the box apparently being on Wolves' side. And then you had the TP coming in, you had the Nightfall coming out. This all happened. All of this was in the same round. And again, that Paranoia being just tilted up, it felt like they were so aware. There's the walk on the
Patman's on
smoke.
a reload. So Forsaken fully committed towards that. They're both spamming into this. I mean, there's
Pakai
an opportunity
race.
to potentially bait into that. One
Oh.
person sprays, but something off rip here, round 10.
Timeout seeming to work well, at least for these early couple of exchanges, right? Something's want of space and wanting to play towards bound is fine, but you've started to see how Wolves are approaching this.
You never see PaperX really relent in that
No,
regard.
no.
It will continue, and that's where they catch teams off guard, where it's like, yeah,
Lotus
your aggression
Surely
hasn't
now.
worked 4 rounds in a row. No, we're coming again, don't worry.
That 5th time, it'll work. And now we're seeing a bit of a tempo switch up from Wolves too. Very, very slow, holding here, waiting for that re-aggress, which is coming. And again, they're so prepared, Mike. They've got the PRX playbook and they understand it well. Still got to handle the players on the other side. Great shot from Batman, but it's traded. And the numbers simply so advantageous. A quick rotate off the back of, once again, why use space?
Always the one to backfill these sort of plays.
Waduh,
Ooh, tricky. Still not easy on this, though,
Tips,
is it?
yeah.
It's. Whoa! A shot!
Whoa.
Come on! How is that fair? But look at once again. If you don't see him
aduh,
on the
belakang
side,
guys,
you know where to be looking.
guys.
Slow and steady, he herds them closer. They need a plant though, 17 seconds, and why you on his walkabout. Divide dead! And now the plant on the line though, Forsaken could speed up here. Punish the plant, but no, can't quite catch him!
Ah,
Spray
ente dah.
again! Wolves! Beautiful Double mid-rounding here, Mike. This is stunning.
Blow for blow, this exchange is beautiful to just watch from the minimap. YU threading the needle once more. Oh, that's how he gets found.
Tipis banget ya.
But again, it's a similar thing. Paper X, they lose one, they stack up 3 to actively re-clear that space. And ultimately, again, it feels like it's their demise in this round because of YU. Now sitting at 11 and 5, leading the board for Wolves.
Berdiri doang anjir.
Almost the executioner getting plenty of shots to the back of the head.
Oh yeah. And it was impressive. Again, this kind of, it feels like it came out of that timeout as well. They've clearly got a game plan in mind of how they wanted to approach this.
But
and it's
yeah,
worked.
I mean, because they're reading it perfectly. Again, this scenario, First Blood comes through. They know Paper X are going to re-clear. So there's going to be one, potentially 2 other lanes on the map that are totally open for YU to walk into.
It's very impressive to watch because Paper X are a really hard to handle team. You only have to look at the names they've taken down to get to this point, right? It makes perfect sense. Liquid, Sen, G2. I mean, they're a dangerous team. You know, if you want to talk about, all these kind of, intelligent teams, they play that, good quote-unquote Valorant. They've fallen for this, but Wolves have come in very prepared. Maybe just, very, very ready for what Paper X like, understanding the tendencies.
Prepared, yes, but actually refining some of the things that we've seen them adapt here in Toronto, which is actually what's so refreshing to see. Again, on a dream run like this, an underdog dark horse, but actually improving game by game. Upsets along the way, sure, but actually showing they've got their heads screwed on.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Now for Paper X, so once again you kind of go into the archives, right? As much as everyone likes to look at these guys as underdogs, they've had to rebuild. That is true. Bringing in Patman was fantastic. It worked. We've all seen the difference in their playstyle as of late. They're starting to look much, much better overall. But these guys have sat in finals. These guys have been in Champions finals. They know what this sort of pressure's like. They are never going to be the underdogs in my mind. They're too talented for it. So as it stands, they need to adapt here.
Just look what's happened here as well. Paper X have already drawn a player across. I mean, Divine now reconsidering, but Spring looking to pressure
Killjoy
up towards Tree. Divine again, counter 3, almost caught one here. YU now again shows presence on the other side. So ice towards the minimap. Look what happens. Immediately, Paper X looking to isolate the weaker side of this default, but they pick up the pace towards A.
I like the intention, actually, I really do. But the problem is the stall out's fantastic from Paper X.
Banyak ya, mereka tuh ini banyak banget ya. Layernya banyak anjir.
25 seconds. We are now at pressure stations. Forsaken down on 30. Has to respect the paint shell. A spray through the smoke here doesn't land, but something does. They're dwindling in numbers. Siufa, BD, and Spring, the last 2 standing, and they are cornered here. This adjustment from Paper X.
Nice.
Stunning from them.
Nice.
So well. Now that is a beautiful recovery, considering what happened elsewhere. It was paranoia, showstopper, so much thrown towards YU. And in that situation, Wolves just kind of need to go, 1 for 2 in terms of approaching A site. They do that. Paper X still come back.
This is really nice for Paper X. Again, even seeing that discipline start to an extent, right? That dose of discipline at the beginning, the second contact's made.
A sprinkle of discipline.
That's as much as we're going to get. That's as much as we're going to get. But honestly, I like that though. And again, those quick rotations, starting to read what Wolves are doing, identifying YU where he was. And yeah, the trap was there, but even those rotations coming in so quick. Back into the mix of things, a buy for both sides, still lacking for some areas on Paper X's side. You're going to see that Guardian still in the hands of Divide. And a stack up from Wolves. And on the other side, Forsaken, not too far, a clear towards Mound, and a wanted punish. You can see they're starting to read this, maybe Mound pressure, trying to maybe toy with those expectations off of that Fade utility.
They kind of know Forsaken's the key stakeholder in terms of those set pieces outside C. Try to shut him down here. Again, beautiful read or assessment, I guess, of the previous situation.
And some people may look at these 2 teams and see them as just those mechanical monsters, but this is a really cerebral game so far.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
See these rotations on rotations, these adjustments. Oh, Spring almost. And now a moment of quiet here.
That could slow things down potentially.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to kind of pre-take, I guess. And the plant's going to come in. Now this should encourage movement here. Just going to kind of eat the Prowler, still close range, still able to use the shorty just fine. Weapons not right, and the knife's not ready. So a 3v3 in the
Oh,
post.
nice.
Look at the position from YU. That is, excuse me, coming from CFAT BB. He's still on the way, but they've still got to slow things down. YU does well. Lysor still has to hold ground here, and now
Flank,
the
flank,
silence
flank.
becomes deafening. The position becomes questioned. They don't know where he is, but they're gonna have to guess. CFAT BB does well on one. Forced to buy off the defuse. Just needs to keep his cool here. This would be everything for him, trying to play to the time, play to the tempo, play to the clock, and play him like a fiddle.
Oh fuck, now kills you fat BB lagi.
This guy, time and time again, looks so composed in the clutch and closes out a 7-5 half here, Lauren. Fantastic stuff from Wolves.
This has been an exceptional game so far. Just brilliant from both sides. And again, on surface, you may have thought, it's not going to be this, really cerebral matchup. But this has been a wondrous affair.
It really has. That's any sort of taster here towards the second half. Don't go anywhere, we'll find out very shortly.
Yeah, we will, because we do have a bit of a treat as well coming up. We do have the one and only Mixwell standing by for us. So that'll be where we're going to in just a second. So I can't wait to hear from him. He's been in these scenarios. Let's see how that feels from the other side.
Atau udah half time? Oh, half time,
one
okay.
of the perks of being here live during finals weekend is
Gua
being
telat
able
nggak ya
to
nih?
run into legends. Such as Mixwell, who's co-streaming here for the venue now. Welcome back to Canada. You've been here before. What do you think about the crowd so far?
I think the crowd is one of the loudest I've ever seen, to be honest. I traveled to a lot of tournaments in BCT, so they are doing a great job.
Yeah, it's very exciting to be among them now. You have a little bet when it comes to Wolves. Can you explain it to everybody what happens if Wolves win this event?
I wasn't familiar with their game. At the start of the tournament, I said that if Wolves wins the event, I'm going to go Bold. So now I'm afraid I need PRX to win today, please.
Toronto, what are the chances do you think of him going Bold? Come on, are Wolves going to win this event? Oh, it's not looking good for you, Mixwell. It's not looking good. Now, some of the players on stage, we've really seen their personalities. Sufat, BB, Forsaken, they're on their feet. They're hyping up the crowd. As a former player who also enjoys that atmosphere, how important is it to have that hype man on your team?
I think it's really important, especially when they are down. Some games, Wolves were down and Sufat brought Juicy back, for example. And I think it's crucial. I think that you have to play with the crowd, you have to enjoy the moment, you have to be in the moment. And Wolves, especially, they are enjoying it a lot. And a lot of people want to cheer for them as well because of that energy. And now I like them. Even though I might go Bold, I like them.
All right, we shall see. I hope you do go Bold at the end of this event. Thank you very much, Mixwell, for joining me. And let's see if Paper Rex can maybe save him in the second half.
The one thing I will absolutely agree with is this crowd has been amazing. For both teams as well.
But the second thing I will say is actually referencing back something we were talking about in the cast the other day. We do see the econ report here from Coinbase. Again, very evenly contested first half here. YU the ones to really pull ahead here for Wolves, but also Divide on the other side of things. But just to come back to that same point, again, the resilience. Juicy the other day, an absolute stinker of a first half.
Yeah, really struggled.
But again, the vibes never changed on stage. You could see maybe hints of frustration coming through, but that's where players like Sufat, BB really pay dividends in terms of a team's mental.
I mean, we talk about the sixth man, right? Being that crowd behind you to get you back going.
You almost need a conductor actually from the stage to be able to actually channel that.
Let's go. Bisa. Nge-lag cuok.
Getting a team back online, and Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto. You almost need a conductor actually from the stage to be able to actually channel that back into getting a team back online, and Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto.
All right, PaperX now on the attack, 5-7.
Wow, Divide. Aduh.
Getting a team back online, and Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto.
All right, PaperX now on the attack, 5-7. Divide, headliner, a big player in big games too.
Kita refresh dulu ya, guys.
The flawless round victory.
And you're right,
Flawless, gak kelihatan lah ini.
Controlling that tempo, making their fights their own. Hard to handle on all occasions.
Okay. Ntar sambil ngambil minum deh.
Paper X are going to dial into that. And actually, really, I guess we've asked this before of Wolves to kind of stabilize a little bit in the second half and really get to grips with what their opponent's going to try and achieve here. As again, no secrets on the way in from Paper X. Stack misplaced here, so your second successful approach towards A. Hopefully.
Yep. And
Ya, dua
again, look towards Divide here.
apa namanya? Dua orbs lagi ulti loh.
I mean, that could be there for the bonus, right? Huge.
What is that?
Okay.
Yeah, his third 3K or something.
Siap.
One
The
off
map
now.
so far.
That's brilliant.
Oke.
Massive the attacking side.
Kalau
That
kalah,
lovely
gue sih
defend
tidak
to have in
mengerti
the back
lagi.
pocket, something that Wolves will have to deal with.
Coming to your first buy round, to have that ultimate available is brutal. Wow.
Guys,
A response found.
easy, Tiger. We shouldn't get more dangerous than this. Stop it. Stop it.
Udah lah.
Jing and Forsaken keep this in control. Oh, stop it! What has gone on? Forsaken left in a 1v2. Come on, Forsaken, surely you keep this safe. Backpedaling away, trying to play the time now. This should never have been this close. See that baby forced to move.
Belakang.
Way closer.
Wih.
Come down to a Red Bull
Aduh,
clutch
sayang
here.
banget.
Just one rifle retained. Now you're almost relying on Devi's ult to be the
Giling so
turning
Alex.
point here. But Paper X are able to get the purchase together. Jing down on Judge, but I saw finding so much value here. Oh, Jing.
God. Okay.
Blood pressure check required for
Yeah.
Alex.
We'll get the heart rate monitors out next time. Now, again, keep in mind they do have Devi's ult here. So this is something
Oh,
you've
that's
got to
really
see them build around, be aware of. Quick little pain shot to try and maybe delay.
I mean, Wolves are just perfectly for this. There's actually nobody here. Yes. Entry found, but it's a full 5v5 in the post.
Sketchy timing on this. And it looks like something wants to try and hold this back. They're willing to try and brawl on the site. They're not sitting deep at all here. Something wants to draw blood. PRX still standing by. Oh, it's messy. And now there's an opportunity. PRX, though, banking on Jing. And you know he'll give you a couple here.
Nice.
Beautiful from him. Now down in the 1v2. Incredibly difficult for CFAT BB again.
Nice.
All day long.
Come on. Let's go.
Tempo shift here on the half certainly suits
Pintar dia.
Paper
Dia ke
X.
B pakai Judge.
Now one to the
Mantap,
good.
mantap.
8-7 the scoreline. Can get this Judge up close and personal.
Okay. Who's got...
Jing 4 on the round for him. Good progress towards the showstopper as well. Gonna potentially, well, should by all rights have that for the next buy round here. Wolves down on a bit of a Shiko. No ultimates to their name. I mean, Fat BB the closest, and well, actually Lysor one away from the TP, but necessarily too impactful.
Ai.
Okay.
Keambil dong
That's a
satu
recoverable weapon. No one
senjata
else is here. So
nih.
the game should be given away to an extent. Obviously now, the hit being noted by away.
Nice.
You try and buy
Gua
time,
hilang.
it's hard to
Udah
hold
plan.
us back, right? It's a flood of players, full kit.
Nobody was watching, don't worry. We didn't see it.
But yeah,
Gagal
all
squawks.
good, all good. Paper X though, got to steady the ship here. Can still get a little bit scary. And now Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him in? The post plant is purely on the site itself, Mike. There isn't anyone sitting deep.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs basically to rally behind here and try and make this rifle work. Found the first. Patman's fallen.
Okay, Divine now. Gonna have to do work here. See if that BB does well. Divine. Oh! I told you before, this man is a big player in big games, and he just had a hell of a lot of impact.
Oke. Nice. Udah
How
5.
can you miss it?
Let's go.
One of the quickest aces I think we've probably ever seen
Look at this.
Clean,
And they
clean,
needed
clean.
him. They needed this. It was all
Tar,
going
tar.
on.
Tah.
Oh,
That is just
magic.
beautiful to watch back. He's going through
Masih
it.
pusing aja Alek anjir.
They're getting close, Wolves, right? They're getting close on these rounds, getting a little bit scary. But the scoreline looking good for PaperX. 9-7, a bye back in hand for Wolves, though. They have to stop the rock fast.
This could be the round to find that response. But I can see you, Fat BB's ultimate. This time around, obviously retrieve the orb outside C. There is a bit of a gap here with Forsaken, the solo anchor towards A. Obviously, possibility here.
Titik ujung
And then
harus dicek ya.
second player actually to come across fairly quickly, but
Well, here comes the test. And then, I don't know if that's going to reach. It does, so Lysol will be noted. Draws the paranoia. Okay, counter on counter. They can't hear a thing here. Divide, though, unaffected, unfazed.
Tahu dong.
35 seconds getting close now. The paranoia burnt early, and Lysol needs to be ready. This is a lot of pressure coming his way. You're going to hear the ults coming out to secure the plant, but Lysol still does the damage. Can't do the dance, though, with Forsaken. And that's a beautiful catch from CFAT BB. Punishing Jing on the push-up. And now the plant gets hindered. Problems now mounting. Spring at the door, and now it's just on Defy. Position noted earlier, they should be aware. But this man's dangerous, but not today. Spring's got his number. And Wolves back within touching distance.
we said we needed them to find a response here. They finally stopped that string of rounds. Getting costly here on both sides. And
Ultinya selalu nggak akan.
shut down
Aduh,
here
sayang banget
from
ultinya.
Jing, desperate to try and convert.
Shoot the recon,
Yeah,
See how
bro.
close these rounds have been.
It's not necessarily been a walk in the park for that string of rounds, but Jing looking to put this rifle to work. Start of round 18.
He's had a feel-good round not too long ago. Ooh,
Oh, look at that
yeah,
anti-TP
that-
sets up!
Oh, it's so sick! You think Wolves are just another team? They're certainly not.
Oke,
Very
bisa gua
ready for
ikutin.
what PaperX wanted to bring.
Good setup.
Forsaken picking up what feels like the cursed rifle at this point. It's dropping hand to hand. Divided well last time in a scenario not too dissimilar to this, but not be able to get it this time.
Ah,
Handled. Wolves fully ready.
Something just walking into a blender. Was it both nanos actually into that
Kinda
corner?
looked
The
like
alarm bot was there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously the vulnerable taking effect.
Second time.
Yeah,
out
it was,
there.
yeah, the second is here.
No escape, really. God.
And actually, yeah, I didn't even, yeah, Jing's forced into the line of sight as well, so
One enemy.
Great little
one
setup
enemy
here.
remaining.
from Wolves will actually get them a second round. Force a timeout as well from PaperX. So we'll be required
oke.
to stand on their own 2 feet now for the remainder. 9-9 the scoreline.
9-9.
I just keep thinking, oh, okay, PaperX back to that 4 in the row. You start to have Jing popping off. You've had Divide do it, acing out. It looked good. But then these last 2, Wolves never feel like they look like they're under pressure. It's always possible with them. That nice little setup, the last 2 rounds, very considered.
Find themselves in a really good position actually here in terms of defensive ultimates. They got 1 away from the lockdown. Springs 1 off the pit.
Oh, true, yeah.
2 more for Juicy to find the showstopper. I mean, yes, options on the side of PaperX, but in terms of this defensive ult cycle, got to feel really, really good about themselves. So again, even with that string of rounds now, look at what's in the bank for PaperX. What's behind this purchase? I even hear a broken purchase if you look at some of the shields.
This feels tense, though, because this was the one from the timeout, right? This is the one with the plan in mind for PaperX. Last check-in with the coaching staff, unless we get OT.
Wolves getting a little active here as well,
Hey,
actually.
off the back of a timeout, why not? A traditional reaction. Is PaperX aware? There's 3 players in that smoke. You may think there's 1,
Anjir.
but will he expect all 3? Quick enough to find 1. Great paranoia from Forsaken as well. Do they try and go on the hunt from this? Oh, the TP's lovely. Big investment on that, but I like the idea behind it, taking a lot of space. But look at towards the site. It's yeah, still standing here, pops the ult, plays it well. Oh, catching
fuck.
midair.
So
he
bad.
Can't get away from him. Brought back to life before from CUBB, and now he's standing on his own 2 feet. Divide left, all on his own. Surrounded, and he doesn't even know it. You thought that TP might have cut right through him, it didn't. The Wolves still standing together, fighting together. Divide does what he can, putting up the stand, but Wolves taking the lead.
Ente bang.
Executed to perfection here. You get a crucial trade from Juicy, but then to find the second the showstopper comes through, that splash damage. I can't believe that even catches on Jing. Outrageous scenes here.
Are you starting to believe now? The way this half started, I thought it was going to go kind of par for course, right? What you'd expect. But the Wolves, once again, proving they are lethal about their business. So we go again. Money, not looking good for PaperX. It's Stingers, it's a Sheriff, it's a Bulldog. Brought together from the bargain bin, basically, here. Can they make something with it? Ooh, a little bit of chip on the way. Position now noted. Super BB on the site here. Still got C's and his Prowlers, but they are faster as Lights all caught sleeping. Not expecting the pace. Juicy, a wild play through the smoke. Gonna find 2, but Spring's now here. It gets a bit messy, but it's working out, at least for now, in Wolves' side.
Not great here for Pac-Man, though.
Oh, do you really go for that? No.
He certainly doesn't feel safe to just stick the plant out, so they're waiting for something. Does have the ultimate here, but again, the 2v3 doesn't feel good.
And that chip on Pac-Man 2, they're starting to feel it. Something's going to have to go nuclear. Try and save the day, but none of these fights, these engagements, are fair for him. YU does well, even Pac-Man with 21 HP. And no prayer to be had. Wolves again now, round by round, taking this away from PaperX.
They hit 11 here.
Datang baru.
This is
God.
getting into really open territory now. You can see there's effectively a force up here. Ultimates are plenty. Talking about some of those defensive ultimates here for Wolves. How it lies here for PaperX. This is going to take up the lion's share. Obviously, the round loss bonus is going to be a consideration, but could potentially face Wolves here on map point on a broken buy.
On PaperX's map choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all starts to compound here, but they're not there yet. 4 in a row, unanswered. Alt starting to build, money looking solid. We're gonna need a PaperX round. Gonna need someone to step up, and it looks like something wants to try and trailblaze his way forward. Good info, 2 spotted, and the rest now filling behind that.
So whether or not they were trying to set up for potentially a paranoia there.
Oh, the paranoia was fine. Quite juicy. Still standing, still breathing. Forsaken gonna find the trade out towards Lightsaw. Nice from PaperX. Unwilling to relent on the site now. Spring and what? Oh my God, what a shot.
Oh, nice.
Forsaken wants this. YU, a 1v3. This would be something special.
Nggak mungkin dong.
But a lifeline for PaperX. Jump spot towards street, that's from Divide. Time's been bought, couldn't get the punish fast enough. And now they know the position. The cross should be the death of YU. I say should. Yeah, they're not giving him an inch here. Very well handled by PaperX in the end. They had to keep their cool there.
Almost a lifeline here in terms of the bigger picture. Brings it within 1. Not allowing Wolves to really sit back on their laurels and rely on these ultimates. Getting so sloppy on that first kill. The paranoia almost setting things in motion, but Forsaken just,
Heroics there.
just absolutely bulldozing his way onto site.
Those were your last words.
Bagus sih, bagus.
Wolves are late timeout in the half in the map, round 22. Comfortable financially, so he's still got those ultimates actually building back towards Juicy and Siu Fat BBs. Almost a stacked deck here in terms of this cycle.
Yeah, it starts looking a bit scary, and that Jing's 2 away from his. Forsaken 1 off and 2 away from Patman's, but as I said, this feels like we're getting really...
Well, again, you think about it as well, if you don't invest these ultimates early on, you never really get a clean 5v5 retake versus PaperX, because they'll find a plant, but they'll also, more often than not, push towards spawn, try and find a kill, weaken that setup. So if Wolves do have any kind of set pieces around these ultimates, you're really looking towards Spring and YU to mitigate that risk and sit deep enough where you're not really going to be able to rely on it too much. But say PaperX, they're a team that reads into that sort of thing so well.
Well, I'm probably going to see a paint shell. I imagine maybe a C's perhaps, who knows, but you're seeing the way that PaperX want to pass.
Well, first time actually the stars align for a fight towards Rubble here.
God, this could be right off the rip. Here we go. Already paint shell comes in, C's not going to find it, but the reveal is fantastic. Juicy going to go down,
yeah.
Forsaken
Nice.
doubling in. This is lovely from them. See if it maybe does answer back in kind, but PaperX aren't stopping. They want the site. And it,
nice
beautifully done by
flash.
something. Yeah, that's stunning. Almost singular in approach, just banking on themselves.
I mean, what plant coming through with 120 left on the clock, it's a haymaker thrown from PaperX and it lands once more. Similar to those early rounds we did see in the second half.
This shouldn't be possible, a 1v. It shouldn't be possible, and it isn't. Something in the end adds a full stop to that sentence. But it is 11-11, Mike. PaperX have found what they needed, but it's getting close here. The money's still in place for Wolves, and you're looking at those ults, they become such a heavy factor, but this reveal was everything.
Lysor, unfortunately, still in the committed position. Siu Fat BB, unfortunately, I guess, just caught off guard by the flash. Tried to turn it, but even so, you connect that first shot, you've got 2-3 more members of PaperX staring you down. Like PaperX maybe feel as if they found the recipe here. Slower approach this time around. No resistance shown early on, at least, from Wolves. Exploration elsewhere. This is both YU and Spring, though. Spring's going to continue pushing forwards. Might even catch Divine Spawn.
Mati dong, Davai.
Yeah, trying to almost sell this
Apa
fake,
sih?
but Divine completely unawares. They hadn't seen this sort of look before, but if anything, it encourages his approach towards A now.
Team does have the showstopper as well, though.
Yeah, this is going to get tense. Both players stuck on the back of the side now. Ready for the swing, but not ready for the shot. Lysor has Forsaken, waiting for the pop. And the Nolan Jings landed it. 3v3 now.
No.
Tension rising. Something holding the
Santai,
push through the
santai,
door on the
santai.
other
Belum
side
plan.
now.
Nice, dah.
Nice from him. Man advantage and plant next on the cards.
See the lockdown invested here. It's a
Saving.
2v3. See the response
Whoa.
comes through from Patman, but PaperX going to get to fight this. YU's found one.
Yeah, beautiful from him. They've got to react to it now. Something, it wasn't clean enough.
Mati
Jing,
dong.
what do you do?
He's caught.
What do you do?
They can just stick it.
Yeah. I can't believe it. YU just has to hold guard. And for Jing, he just has to stand back and watch as the 12 gets taken away in the final hour of regulation. Wolves take the
Kenapa nggak
lead.
dapet sih something?
See here, the purchase going to be rough for Wolves, but they find that response finally.
Dan Davai sayang
Finding the
banget sih ini.
opportunity to invest the lockdown. I mean, it's another situation where you just see Forsaken again, just digging so deep. Jing hitting the drive-by as well. Zach killed one with a follow-up here onto
Aduh.
something.
Sayang.
This one ultimately that can bail Jing out in that situation. They're coming into this though. Wolves still have a pit, still have a showstopper. Big tools to work with here in round 24. moment of silence will drop. Paper X poised now.
Cover going out.
Once again, it's like actually a big info there. Catch him drifting away here, not necessarily looking committed. It being Jing, obviously, the tip of the spear on some of these set pieces, but Paper X are actually going to contact up.
It all feels like the calm before the storm.
Wolves almost scratching their heads here. They invest the pit over, expecting maybe that with that information, Paper X are rotating towards C.
There's the info, but are you ready for the hit? How do you play it for Lysor? Oh my god, he's going for the heroics. He went for the heroics and it worked out for one. Not going to get his seconds. Paper X now finds stability on the site. Into the post plant. Something playing a little further ahead. He wants a one and done and back away. No one's given him that yet though. And the time ticking for Paper X here. This is good for them. Still ults in play though. Juicy has his. You've heard that invested. Flies on the site, but something does well. Gets one back. The showstopper does one. Wait,
Aduh,
something
something apa sih?
it's into a 2v2. It ain't over yet. You're looking at the post plant for Devi and Jing here. Can they hold on to this? Paint shell posted by some seconds. They needed to stay alive.
Nice. Di dalam, dalam.
And they're not dead yet. They're
Nice. Let's go overtime. Let's go.
Paper X bringing it back to 12 apiece.
Of course we see overtime here on the first map of this series. An insane exchange here throughout the second half. And Paper X is showing a brazen approach.
No fear.
Almost their trademark
Udah kelihatan nih.
game plan here. For Wolves, I gotta say it, seemingly up to the challenge. Everything gets reset now for round 25. Those ultimates will be
Defend ya, defend oke lah.
reset as well. I mean, Wolves, perfect position to close out now, but back onto the attacking side.
The timing's going to be critical on this. They've read it. They've read it really well here.
Same piece we've seen previously.
And it worked out well for a 2-for-2 trade in the end, but this time, Jing, something in
Nice,
unison. They're not going to let him even have a chance into this. Denied from the very word go. And Wolves want back in. They're taking the fight. He can't do that. Paper X locked in on this. A 4v2.
Nggak mungkin kalah
They
dong,
should
4
find
lawan 2
stability,
dong.
Mike. But Wolves look unwilling to back away. They don't want to go
They're
elsewhere.
expecting Paper X to rotate away from this and give up the space, but Paper X reading this perfectly. Still got both extremities controlled as well, so
It's so difficult. They need a freebie. They need something, and it
Nice.
ain't happening.
Kiri patah.
Paper X looking
Nice.
sharp. Right read, right place,
Nice,
right shot.
nice. So menang 1, udahan dulu deh.
draw first blood this set piece once more. On the back of the C's nade. This time around, no casualties, no trade found.
Enemy spike down.
Able to stick the landing.
Suara apa tuh?
Wolves had to call a timeout here. Ahead of the second round
Attack-nya yang
in
susah ya.
overtime.
So impressed by Paper X's
Combo
mental here, though,
apa?
because they've been put through the ringer on this.
Skill,
Again, it's
fate
pressure
sama
on them more than
grenade-nya.
anything, right? If you're Wolves,
Raisi
you've
main.
already done more than expected.
Apa ini?
Looking in
back.
fine form today. But yeah, again, usually with Wolves, you'd be talking about, you know, this unknown quantity and, you know, hard to read and stuff like that. The fact that we're talking about actually there is some familiarity between these two teams, it makes it a little bit more interesting because we've seen kind of counters to both approaches.
Yeah.
Paper X showing they're able to dismantle those defaults, and Wolves also looking as if they're very adept at dealing with early round aggression. And I'm with you on that one.
Again, you look at Paper X, they are a legacy team here, right? And they have that one destination in mind, that final stop. The Wolves standing in their way of that grand final. And it's down to the wire between these two. So we go again. Similar scenes, it looks like, right? It almost looks like rinse and repeat, but Jing this time is fast. Oh, and he does get it!
Sure.
Lysol has gone down. It looked a little laboured, but YU swings in. Oh, he gets a second! Hold on, Paper X.
Bisa kelihatan, Cok. Aduh, gimana kau ini?
Just behind the wall as well. Not necessarily a comfortable push out here
That's
for
both
Wolves to
players.
control. Yeah, Divine and Forsaken.
I have the spike.
Will be given an opportunity to reset a little bit here, but find themselves in a 2v3.
Oh, I thought they were leaving Devi there. God.
Shadows traveling.
So no paranoia. Going to be a little gap on a follow-up smoke here.
Gak ada
Clark
detail
goes
apa-apa
through.
ya? Gimana caranya?
Juicy still got satchels. Spring still with a snake bite, so a couple of tools here at Wolves' disposal.
Oh, it's so tense now. You're going to need someone to over-deliver, and they do! Paper X take it deep!
Nice!
Can't stand! Paper X!
Nice.
It took
Berdiri lu sana,
to
berdiri.
get there, but our legacy team holding strong on map 1.
Nice ace, the 5.
Hey, it's standing pistol round, huh?
Why you never stand up?
He's legit in PC pool, they should take it.
He's standing in pistol round, huh? Udah gua off dulu guys. Oke. Bye bye.